There are almost 4 billion women and girls in the world. Each holds a unique promise, fueled by the power of her health. And when we invest in her health, we all benefit from the power of her promise. At Organon, our vision is to create a better and healthier every day for every woman. Because when she's healthy, she's empowered, she's resilient, she prospers, and so does her community and society for generations to come. That's why her promise is our purpose.
Hello, I'm Kaja Natland, and I'm honored to be here today to represent Organon. We are a global healthcare company with a broad focus on women's health. And in June, we launched Her Promise, which is a platform to help girls and women to achieve their potential. And one of our commitments is to help to reduce 120 million pregnancies in low and middle income countries by the end of 2030. But we know we cannot do that alone. So today we're here to discuss the power of art for advocacy. And working with local artists and local stakeholders through a very special mural project that enhances women's empowerment and women's health to all global communities. Since 15th of June, we have seen more than 15 murals globally come up to spark that discussion. And I think you have seen in the video some of the murals already. And a few days ago, I had the privilege to see the latest mural that is painted on the wall of the US Embassy in Bangkok. And this beautiful piece of art is called We Are Tomorrow, and painted by the Thai-American artist Amanda Phingbodhipakkiy. And Amanda is a multidisciplinary artist, educator, and activist, who is also an artist in residence with the New York City Commission on Human Rights. So I'm delighted to be joined by Amanda today to discuss about, what inspired you, how your perspective on the mural. So let me start with thanking you for being here and, for your partnership on this great piece of art. And let me hear from you a bit about your inspiration to create the piece, but also how you see that this can spark dialogue in the community.
Well, I just have to say I'm so honored to be here and excited to join you for this conversation. I too am so grateful for our partnership. I think the work we've done together will reach so many people, and every time someone passes by this mural, I just hope that they are uplifted, that they feel catalyzed to take action on the issues that they care about. But, to answer your question, the mural was actually inspired by conversations with local Thai women and non-binary youth. And they told me that, sometimes in their lived experience, it feels constraining. I think we can all sort of identify with that feeling in our lives that, sometimes in some spaces and perhaps all spaces, we feel limited or we feel a lack of freedom. So what I really wanted to express through the mural was actually how they are still able, despite these conditions, to create space for themselves, to create space for others. I think that requires such tremendous courage. And it's just inspiring to see these young people raising their voices, standing up for what they believe in, and actually taking action despite potentially, harm to themselves. So, it's called We Are Tomorrow because I truly believe that we need to listen to youth. We need to let them show us the way, and we need to allow them to move through society in ways that allow us to build a better future.
Oh, thank you. And I really like that you started with listening to women. I do think, and non-binary youth. And I really think that that's also very close to our heart in Organon, to listen to what is the opinion of women, what are their needs, and what can we do to help them reach their potentials. I love that. That was part of your inspiration. And we're here together at ICFP to come together as a community to continue to work together to empower women and also further the health of women. And, when people now for many years will pass through the mural that you created in Bangkok, what do you hope they will take away?
That's a great question. And I'm so glad you made that comment about listening, because I think there is such defiance and hope and compassion in this piece of work that I hope that it inspires people when they look upon these faces. They're almost like queens. They're like guardians, and they sort of tower above us, and they elevate the stories of everyday people that we don't typically get to see. So I hope that people, when they look upon these faces, that they get inspired to actually uplift the unsung stories, uplift the unseen labor of women that too often just goes unappreciated. And I hope that people just reflect on, the issues that they care about in their own lives. We have these figures set against this vibrant, hopeful sky, these blooming flowers, and you get this feeling of possibility, of growth. And that's what I hope people will receive.
And what I also really liked is that you not only are engaging the community in a conversation over what they see in your mural, but you actually also got some help from community in creating the mural. I know there were children painting with you. Is that something you do often with other pieces of art that you have done as well? To include, not only including in the dialogue, but also including in the creation.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's so important for artists to involve communities in their work, because ultimately they give us so much, right? It's, every time someone tells me a story, it's a gift. So my art should be a gift as well to them. So in the ways that I can, I'm inviting communities to create with me, because I think the act of co-creation is so transformative. When you make together, you start to bridge divides. You start to see each other honestly, and you start to understand that you're connected to something so much bigger. And, you start to see all of the threads of our society kind of weave together in a fabric. So yes, I work with youth a lot. I work with, community members from 5 to 95, because I think it's so important that we listen to our communities, that we uplift these community stories, and that they are actually part of creating something that is lasting.
Yeah, because I do think one of the themes here at the conference as well is collaboration and partnerships, and really that co-creation piece that you're talking about is something that we see here on how government, civil society, the private sector is coming together, because some of the big challenges, there is no way, no one alone can solve that. You need to do that together. So how do you have any view on the inspiration of that process, from art, how you can take that to other pieces of life and other collaborations?
That's a great question. I am quite multidisciplinary myself. My background is actually in neuroscience. I studied Alzheimer's when I was younger, and I started actually reading papers on belonging, which is actually why I became an artist. So in reading these papers, I came to realize that, when we feel isolated, when we feel alone, when we do not feel belonging, we actually, our bodies react as if we had experienced physical harm. So, imagine someone who doesn't feel belonging every day. Imagine what kind of damage that does to their physical and mental well-being. So I think if we can all get aligned on sort of what's important, the bigger goal, the bigger mission, I think that it requires so much that everybody provide their perspective, everybody provide their expertise, and we can actually find a way to kind of cobble together all of these parts to create a future that's more equitable, a future that's focused on justice, on equity, and more joy for everyone.
Yeah. And your mural was number 15th. I know you had the opportunity also to look at some of the others. Isn't that great how the community worldwide is coming together to define different murals? But do you have any take or inspiration or thoughts on what you have seen from the other artists?
It's actually been such a pleasure to look at the other work, because I think you can see the soul of an artist through their work. And I think you can also see the soul of communities through art. So to be able to sort of like look at this work and essentially editorialize, what I think it's about, what I saw was respect. I saw compassion. I saw togetherness. I saw possibility, and I saw hope. And who doesn't want to see that? It's amazing.
No, that's amazing. And so as we're coming to an end now, I want to thank you for joining today. I want to thank you for the great collaboration, the amazing piece of art that you created. And as I said, I hope and believe that mural in Bangkok will create dialogue, discussions for many, many years to come. And as we're here, I also want to take the opportunity to thank the ICFP for bringing us together as a community to empower women and further their health. Thank you.
ขอบคุณนะคะ
En fait, je suis médecin, donc j'ai eu à pratiquer comme médecin et comme médecin chef de district à gérer des programmes